Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session to help clarify and know what to do with the most important ingredients of a relationship. Now, although this is based on a romantic relationship, it equally applies to any other relationship, business relationship, friendship, in the sense that there are four main criteria. There is your non-negotiables. These are the things that if these aren't in the relationship, you don't want it. And the inverse is also true, that certain non-negotiables are things that you just will refuse to tolerate. So if one of your non-negotiables happen, then you're out and you don't look back. So that's a non-negotiable. And it's called a non-negotiable or a red line because there is no back and forth, no negotiating, no I'll give them another chance. Your non-negotiables are non-negotiables. And the important thing with a non-negotiable is you have to clarify them in advance. Because if you don't, what most people do in relationships and friendships is because they value something in the relationship or friendship, they're going to excuse or forgive the person. But quite often that doesn't lead to some kind of a resolution. So your non-negotiables should be red lines that if they're crossed, that's it. Then you've got your needs. These are things that you need to have in a relationship. Now, most people would have ingredients like love, respect, honesty. These are the kind of things that if you're in a romantic relationship and there's no love or there's no respect or no honesty, is it even a relationship? It might just be a situation or a transactional kind of relationship. So those elements of what do you absolutely need, and more importantly, how do you know if those needs are being met? Then you've got the things that you would want and like in a relationship, but you don't need. And this might be thoughtful gestures, or it might be real understanding when you're having a bad day or whatever it might be. These are things that you want. But if someone doesn't ask how you are, if you're in a bit of a shitty mood, that's not a reason to end the relationship because it isn't your red line, if that makes sense. You just want someone to care about you when you're going through a tough time. So your wants and likes are kind of options. And the more of your wants and likes that are met, probably the better relationship you have. Now, the mistake that some people can make is that because their wants and their likes are there, they tolerate if their needs and their red lines are not there, or if the red lines are crossed. And that could be a real problem because the biggest priority has to be the non-negotiables and the needs. And it's really important to articulate what they are so that you're not in this guessing game. A lot of people get angry when their needs aren't being met, but they've never articulated their needs, and that's unfair. So communicating your needs and your non-negotiables, you don't have to do it on your very first date, but if it looks like there's a relationship happening, it's certainly worth communicating what those non-negotiables and those needs are. And in this hypnosis session, you're going to hear a metaphor of a house. And I use this in the sense that most people it's very easy to picture the essentials for a house and then the options. So a house needs to have foundations. It needs to have solid walls. It needs to have a roof. It may have a nice sofa in there, but it doesn't need it, if that makes sense. And by creating the parallels in your relationship, you get to figure out what are your non-negotiables, what are your needs, and just what are your wants and likes. And with that clarity comes a lot of power. And there's a phrase that I love, and that is, mend it before you end it. But that's only half of it. And it's a really important half, because there are people that will compromise on their own needs for the greater good of having a relationship survive. But if that's not sustainable, that becomes a win-lose and fundamentally a lose-lose dynamic. So the rest of that is mend it before you end it. But if you can't mend it, then you need to end it. And what that does is it gives you a feeling of you can walk away from anything, a friendship, a relationship, a business deal that doesn't serve you. And you need to have that optionality, even if you never use it, because without a willingness to walk away under any circumstances, if someone crosses your non-negotiables and there's never any consequence, they were never truly non-negotiables to begin with. This hypnosis session has a 2-minute intro of music before the suggestions and the actual kind of hypnosis starts. So just use that initial 2 minutes just to regulate your breathing, take nice, deep, relaxing breaths, make yourself comfortable. And if you feel that a bespoke session for your own circumstances might be beneficial, then there will be a link in the show notes where you can schedule a free consultation call. For now, though, find that quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, just feel a gentle release of any tension, any stress, any worries or anxiety. Just feel them being released and leaving your body in that outward breath. As you breathe in even more resourcefulness. Perhaps this is strength, courage, or just a feeling of complete acceptance and worthiness. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel yourself becoming deeper and deeper relaxed. Feel yourself drifting to a place where clarity and change are completely natural and effortless. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a plot of land where a house is going to be built. Maybe you can see the size of the land, the environment. Maybe it connects to a road or a pathway. And I want you to get a sense that not all homes are created equally. Some homes are magnificent, wonderful places, and others are merely a shelter. So if someone says that they're in a house, it really doesn't say if the house is a home or just a shelter. So imagine you're looking at this plot of land, a building plot, where a house could be built. And I want you to open your mind to a way of thinking about what this house would need. What are the absolute essential things? What would you want this home to be like? And what perhaps you would just like? I want you to get a sense that a house without foundations and walls is not a house. And I want you to imagine your relationship as a house, and that your red lines, the foundations and the walls, providing the essential structure and support. The foundation ensures the house stands firm, while the walls define its boundaries, protecting everything within. That without a strong foundation and sturdy walls, the house would be unstable and unsafe. I want you to feel that your red lines are the non-negotiables that ensure security and respect in your relationship, maintaining its integrity and strength. And as you imagine the foundations and the walls, start to picture sturdy foundations and strong walls of a magnificent house. And then think of the roof as your relationship needs. Just as the roof shelters the house from external elements like rain, sun, and wind, your needs are essential for protection and comfort in your relationship. The roof ensures that the interior remains a safe and nurturing space. When your needs are met, the relationship provides a secure and supportive environment where you can thrive. Every house needs foundations, walls, and a roof. And I want you to think about your wants. The various rooms in the house symbolize these wants. Each room serves a specific purpose, such as the kitchen for cooking, the the bedroom for rest, and the living room for relaxation. And while a basic shelter can exist without these specialized rooms, they enhance the functionality and enjoyment of the house. Your wants are the desires and dreams that bring diversity and enrichment to your relationship, making it more fulfilling, positive, and enjoyable. And then consider the likes of your house, things you really don't need, but perhaps you would like. And maybe within this imaginary home, you can consider these: the decorations, the furnishings, art on the walls, the color of carpet. A shelter doesn't need these things, but maybe you would like a particular type of bed, particular type of style of kitchen. These are the personal touches. So imagine the artwork, cozy furniture, and decorative items that make the house feel like home. They reflect your personality and preferences, adding warmth and character. Your likes are the small joys and shared activities that add charm and happiness to your relationship, making it uniquely yours. I want you to get a sense that as much as you would like nice artwork and cozy furniture, they don't make sense if there's no room to put them in. And a room is not possible if there is no roof to protect it from the rain. And a roof is not possible unless there are sturdy walls and foundations to support the roof. And sometimes in a relationship, because the likes and wants are sometimes there, people are willing to forgive that the walls are unsturdy or the foundations are not solid. So I want you to imagine walking into this magnificent home where all of your needs, wants, and likes are there in this home. And find that cozy sofa and imagine resting as you start thinking about the red lines, the foundations and walls in your relationship. Make yourself comfy on that sofa, and as you relax, your mind becomes clear about the foundational elements that support your relationship. Imagine those sturdy walls of your house representing your non-negotiables, those things that keep you safe and respected. Your subconscious mind will find it easy to identify the boundaries that are essential for your well-being. And sometimes it's quite simple to figure out what those non-negotiables are, simply by figuring out if they were to happen, what would make it so you wouldn't even want the relationship. I want you to think about those non-negotiables, the things that simply need to be there for you to want to be in the relationship. As you drift deeper into relaxation, your mind focuses less on the non-negotiables and more on those needs, the needs that you have within your relationship. If the roof is your needs, What do you need in a relationship? What needs to be there for you to feel secure and fulfilled? What needs to be there for you to feel that this is a desirable, beneficial relationship that you want to be in? If these needs aren't met, over time, the home simply becomes a house. So allow your mind to start to clarify not just your non-negotiables, but what you need to have in a relationship for you to consider it a relationship. Imagine your needs being recognized and valued by your partner, creating the relationship equivalent of a secure and harmonious home. I want you to think about your wants. Your mind becomes clear about the desires that enhance your happiness in a relationship. And imagine a relationship where all your wants are fulfilled, bringing joy and satisfaction. You may want breakfast in bed but not need it. Your subconscious mind easily identifies the desires that are important for your emotional and mental well-being. Feel the excitement and anticipation of having your wants acknowledged and addressed, and feel that you can have confidence to articulate your wants, your desires, and envision your partner wanting to fulfill your wants, and you doing likewise, adding to the richness of your relationship. And as you relax deeper into that cozy sofa, your mind focuses on the simple pleasures that bring you joy in the relationship. Picture the little things that you enjoy that, if they're not there, are not a reason to end a relationship, and you don't even need them in a relationship. You don't even realize you want them, but whenever they happen, you like them. And imagine a relationship where you just accept that the non-negotiables are just there. Your needs are being met consistently. But what makes this an amazing relationship is that the wants and the likes are frequent and sometimes happen without asking or even hinting. Your inner mind knows exactly what activities and qualities you like in a partner, and feel that these things are there. Feel the warmth and happiness from identifying an appreciation of the likes that make your relationship special. As you imagine your partner sharing and enhancing the likes that bring both of you closer together, it all starts to make sense. You can like it when the likes are being met, and you want your wants to be met. But your needs are necessities. And if your needs aren't being met, the relationship is no longer desirable. And your non-negotiables, well, if they're not there, you will take steps to end the relationship and find something more suitable. Because if your non-negotiables lead to a negotiation, they were never non-negotiables to begin with. Would you stay living in a house with no roof? Would you continue to live in a house with crumbling walls? But you might continue to live in a home with sturdy walls, strong foundations, a solid roof, even if the type of sofa you like isn't there, or the type of art on the walls isn't to your taste. Allow your mind to map across your needs, wants, and likes in a home to your relationship to make it easy to figure out what is being met and what currently is missing. As you take on a useful frame of reference, that it is better to mend it than end it, but that if you can't mend it to an extent that your needs and non-negotiables are being met consistently, then you are unlocking the courage to end it if necessary. Breathing in and breathing out and leaving that wonderful home where your needs, wants, and likes are all there. And as you leave that home, feel that you are worthy and deserving of a relationship where your needs, wants, and likes are all met. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Connect fully with the present moment. As shortly I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, optimistic, full of self-worthiness, willing to communicate your wants and needs, and also feeling that if your non-negotiables aren't being met, you will do whatever necessary to either make sure they are or to find a place where they are, starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.